Hey everyone, my name's John. Welcome to the channel. I talk about lots of different topics in clear, natural English, and then you are quizzed on your listening. There's keywords and phrases in the description below. They're timestamped. Look at them now if you like, or at the end, up to you. Today's topic is changing jobs, and we're starting right now.
Okay, next question. True or false?
Have you ever changed jobs? And if so, how many times? Have you changed the right number of times? Now we're getting a little bit more in depth. So it might depend on your industry or your line of work, how often you should or should not change jobs. If you're in a kind of tech computer industry where skills are changing very quickly, then it might be a good idea to change quite a lot so that you can keep up with those different skills. But maybe that's not the case for you. It might also depend on where you live. Here in Japan, a lot of people think that if you change jobs quite a lot, it's going to look bad to your next employer. They might wonder why you were not loyal to one company. And that makes sense. However, in the UK, I've heard that the opposite can be true. If you've stayed maybe not just in one company, but in one position for a long time, like more than 5-10 years, the employer might wonder why you haven't tried to challenge yourself or to move forward. It might even be seen as being a bit lazy, that you're happy where you are. So yeah, it's a bit of a difference of opinion. What do you think? I read an article that was talking about this topic, and I'll put a link to it down below. But they said that changing jobs is a great way to challenge yourself. Sure, makes sense. And they also said it's a good time to change jobs when you're really good at the job that you currently have. They also said it's a good time to change jobs if you're very bad at your current job. You need a completely different career. And a different article I read said that job hunting itself is a very important skill. If you stay at one job for too long, then it might be harder for you to know how to search for a new job, how to interview, how to sell yourself to different companies. And I thought that was a good point as well. Like any skill, if you don't use it, then you lose it. That's a common phrase, use it or lose it. Maybe you've heard that before. Okay, let's time out and check your listening. First question, I said that changing jobs could depend on two things. One of them was the industry that you work in. What was the second one? It was also where you live. Second question, true or false? In the UK, employers like it if you've stayed in one job for a long time. False. I was talking about the opposite. It could be true in some cases, but that's not what was said. Question 3, true or false? Changing jobs can be a good way to improve your skills and challenge yourself. Yes, that was true. So for anybody who has not started a new job before, maybe you're starting one soon, what can you expect? What are the first few weeks like changing jobs? Now, this is going to be different for everyone. It could be different if you're staying in the same company, but just changing roles, versus if you're actually changing company as well. Perhaps you're changing companies, but your role is pretty much the same. There's a lot of different factors here. One point that's very important is the training that you get for a new job. Some companies will train you for a long time for your new role. For most job roles, I think this is very important to, fully understand what you're doing and what's expected of you. However, a lot of companies are also doing what we call training on the job, meaning they just kind of throw you in on your first day and see that you improve over time. In some cases, I think that can be a good thing. There's some things that you are not going to learn by being trained and studying. Sometimes you do just have to dive in and learn as you go. I could have been trained for weeks and months as a classroom teacher, but until I have a class full of children, I'm never going to get the experience of what it's like to actually teach. You can only train to a certain extent. But hopefully you will get enough training and you're going to feel challenged, but not so much that it becomes really stressful. Hopefully there's going to be a good balance between challenge and stress. And I think that one of the most important things, sometimes even more important than your actual job role, is the environment that you work in. If you found a work environment with very friendly co-workers, people you can get along with, have a laugh with, and give and receive support, then that can make a huge difference to your overall job satisfaction. The opposite of this is known as a toxic work environment. We say, oh, that place was very toxic. Everybody's blaming each other and a lot of the co-workers don't get along. We also say office politics, where this person said this to this person and, kind of gossip spreading and just a negative atmosphere in general. Quite a long time ago, I've had jobs where I've not really enjoyed the role, or it's just not been important to me, but I've loved the work environment and the people I'm around. And I've also had jobs where I've loved my role, but the toxic environment was just too much, and I ended up leaving just because of that. So wherever you are right now, I hope that you have or will find a job where you have a great environment and also enjoy the skills that you're learning and are being challenged. Okay, so question 4. I always say 1, 2, and 3 again. 4. Did I say that training is important because you can just learn on the job? Yes, I said that it was important, even if you can't learn everything from training. Question 5. True or false? The work environment doesn't really matter to me as long as I enjoy my role. False. I think the environment is super important. And last question, what did I say a bad environment is called at work? A something environment. I said it was a toxic environment. I'm very curious how you did today. Please let me know. And if you didn't do quite as well as you hoped, please look at the words and phrases down below. They're time-stamped, and I've tried to include as much as possible so that you can understand this topic, because changing jobs is not the easiest topic to talk about. So please check that out and let me know what you think. Please show some love if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.